Dishita Datta, a legal intern at Lexis and Company, and today I will be talking about how to lodge an FIR. What does FIR actually mean? When to register an FIR? How to register an FIR? What are the rights of a person registering an FIR? What to do in the case where a police officer refuses to register an FIR, and should a person fear visiting a police station frequently after registering an FIR, and what are the legal intricacies involving in an FIR. So all these queries will be answered in this video. So what are the objects of an FIR? Mere going to a police station, preferably the near police station of the area where the crime was committed, and asking the police inspector to file a first information report is sufficient. But before beginning with anything, it is important for us to know that FIR is registered only for cognizable offences. So cognizable offences are ones where the police officers have the right to arrest a person without a warrant and to start the investigation of the crime prior to obtaining permission from the court. So from the point of view of an informant, registration sets the criminal law into motion. That is to say, it starts the process of solving the case by first registering it. From the point of the view of the police, FIR is the obtaining of information about some alleged crime. It is not required that the person registering an FIR should be personally aware of the whole incident. Therefore, if one finds a body lying at the corner of a lane, it is not assumed that he knows when the murder happened or how did it happen. FIR is not an encyclopedia. Minute details are not to be given in an FIR. Simply because of a particular name finds a mention in an FIR, that cannot be taken as evidence against the accused in the court of law. So what is the checklist of an FIR? The FIR can be only registered orally. The condition is after giving the oral statement, it is the duty of the person registering the FIR to produce the oral statement into writing. Once satisfied that all the information is recorded in an FIR, the person making it should sign the FIR. A person making an FIR has the right to get a copy of the FIR. It is mandatory under the provision of the CRPC for a police constable to register an FIR, and question is when to file an FIR. The prompt and early reporting of an FIR as soon as one comes to know of the happening of an offence, it is advisable. The provision as to information report is enacted to obtain early information of the alleged crime actively. If an FIR is still not filed at an early stage, the findings of an FIR can be doubted on the same ground. And the only thing needed before filing a late FIR is a reasonable reason for the delay in filing of an FIR. So registering the first information report without jurisdiction. So what are the consequences of delay in filing of an FIR? 5 hours delay, not seen with suspicion. 6 hours delay, do not in any manner warrants any adverse inferences. 12-hour delay, non-explanation of delay of 12 hours in lodging the FIR. It assumes significance from the point of view of evidence law. 15 hours delay when the evidence is clouded with strong suspicion. As the FIR is lodged with a delay of 15 hours, then the false implication of the accused cannot be completely ruled out. 5 days delay, accused becomes entitled to the benefit of doubt. 14 days delay, it will be utterly unsafe for convicting a person based on an allegation 14 days late. In spite of the delay, if still the FIR report looks substantive from the point of view of the law, such delay will not result in letting the culprit escape. So how to register an FIR? So you have to visit the nearest police station within the crime scene, preferably the nearest police station, informing either orally or in writing. In case of a verbal complaint, it is the duty of the authority recording the FIR to convert it into writing. FIR should be signed by the person giving the complaint. It is the duty of the police authorities to register the FIR in a record book. It is the duty of the police officer to provide the complainant with a free copy of FIR. So what to do in a case where the police officer refuses to register an FIR? So in such a case, the person may send the substance of such information in writing and by post to the concerned SP or the superintendent of the police. So when SP receives such information, it is his duty to either investigate such matter or pass the matter and order an investigation by the concerned authority. Can a telephonic message be sufficient for registration of an FIR? So it depends on the facts of each case. So if not vague, it can be treated as an FIR. A message sent by the telephone to the police officer and recorded by him in his station diary, which discloses an information regarding a cognizable offence, is first information report. So if the telephonic message by any person is not recorded by the police inspector into writing and signed duly, it will not be considered as an FIR. At many police stations in India, even an email or WhatsApp message can be registered as a FIR, provided that they are not vague and comes under the ambit of information as provided in section 154. Procedure after FIR is lodged. So if the area where the incident occurred is within the reach or jurisdiction of the police station, then the police authority possesses all the power to investigate. So the police officer himself assesses whether the complaint is worth entertaining or not. Example, there is an FIR of theft of 50 rupees. Then the police might not forward with the complaint. But if convinced with the findings of the FIR, the police forwards a report to the magistrate and asks him to take cognizance of this offence. Further, the magistrate orders an investigation on the basis of the FIR, and a police officer might also require the attendance of any person being within the local area of such police station. So during the inquiry of an FIR and its investigation, no statement made by any person to a police officer in the course of an investigation shall be signed by the person making it. After taking the final report, if the magistrate is satisfied with the report and the findings of the investigation on the basis of the FIR, court summons is issued. FIR in the case of a rape complaint. So in the cases of sexual offence, the delay is not given much importance as it is assumed by the court about the difficulty of the victim to come out and complain. So where delay in filing an FIR in a rape case has taken place, the court was satisfied with the reasoning that the name of the family was involved. Therefore, there was a delay in filing of the FIR. So what are the basic miscellaneous facts that are needed to know about the FIR? First is that a FIR is lodged within a view to setting the investigation into motion and not for the purpose of setting down all the story and plot of the offence. And there should be a common sense approach to such matters while evaluating the criticism against the FIR. So where FIR is proposed against a politician, actor or a public servant charging that person with allegations of dishonesty, a preliminary inquiry should be conducted against such person. So what is the use of the FIR? The first information report is not a substantial evidence, and a person or the maker of the statement may give many statements, but it is not necessary that every statement of such a person can be treated as an FIR. So for a statement to constitute the first information report, it is very necessary that two conditions should be fulfilled. First is that the statement should be an accusation, that it must be in nature of a complaint, or it should be a statement that gives some information regarding a crime. Second, it must relate to a cognizable offence on the face of it. Thank you so much.